Yo, what's up, everybody? Dr. D. Listen, I'm here today with my brother from another mother. Listen, I'm here today with Angel, IFBB Pro, gym owner, killing it in the industry, giving us an example of how to run a gym and fitness community. And it's not only this, he not only has a gym or gyms, but he has a following. And I'm one of his followers. I love this guy. I appreciate you being here today, man. And you know, we're good friends, giving me a lot of advice, mentored me even sometimes. And today we're gonna be talking about hormones, gym life, supplementation, taking out the freaking curtain, you know, like everybody's like, shh, it's taboo. No, we're gonna put all the cards on the table and get talking. So Angel, thank you for being here with me today, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you for having me, Marcos.
I appreciate
I don't know if I call you Marcos, Dr. D.
Everybody
calls you Dr. D.
Whatever. Who cares about the title? But listen, what got you into bodybuilding? You're IFBB Pro. Tell me a little bit what you were telling me before we started.
Which part?
How you got into?
Well, long story short, I got into working out back when I was like 19 years old, just working out, and I fell in love with it. I was a kid that flunked gym class in high school. So fast forward, fell in love with just working out, became a trainer, went up the corporate ladder with, corporate America in the gym industry by the age of 24, 25. And it led me to here, having this, podcast with you, owning a few gyms and working my way up.
Yeah, but you won a few competitions too on the way, right?
That's right. So 25, I did from 25 to about 30, 31. I competed naturally, and I'll get more into that. But naturally, as far as like just pre-workout, stuff off the shelves of GNC, Vitamin Shop, eating well. And at about 30 years old, I decided to go the NPC route. And by NPC route, it's an organization. And obviously, when you step on, not only when you step on stage, but when you see the guys on stage, it's a different category. So for me to get to NPC and then get to the IFBB, things get, and I'll say it's a little aggressive. Not only on the training side, because obviously the training is aggressive, but also on the supplementation side. And fast forward, I've done this as best possible with the best guidance, and could always have better guidance, I think, But obviously with people like you, in my circle as well, I know I've always got to, gone for you for advice and what to do, what not to do. But it's one of those topics.
Right. And here's the thing. I get so frustrated, dude. Like you go through Instagram, right? Or social media, and you see the person that has a body like yours, right? About to compete, and they're like eating pizza. And I mean, and the people that are watching this, there's people that are watching it and know how it's done.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are watching it and have no clue. And they're, how do I have a gut? This guy has a 38 pack.
And downing this, whole pie of pizza. Yeah.
It's like, there's a guy I actually really like. I'm super fond of this guy, but I'm sure he confuses the hell of a lot of people. And I follow him on social media. The Rock.
Yes.
Yeah, man,
yes.
The guy's getting older. No homo, looks
and better
and better.
What the fuck?
I know, right?
Holy shit, yeah.
The guy looks great.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he'll post like his sushi night and his pizza night. And it's like, doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, and I tell people, I get this shit all the time as well. Like in my house, they say it with love and with care. They call me Fatso because they see me eating all the time. But again, I've been doing this now for 15 years. And in 15 years, maybe I would say about 90% of my meals have been pretty much on point. And then there's that 10% that, it's like, not that I pretty much get to eat whatever I want. Like if I want to order pizza, I order pizza.
Did you tell me you have a sweet tooth?
I have a little bit of sweet tooth, and it's also like I love salty stuff, man.
Good
like
Italian
pasta. Oh my god, yeah. And sometimes I go on a binge, maybe 2-3 meals a week. But then I have 2 weeks, and I'm fucking on point. Whether I'm competing or not, that's not because I'm competing. I just eat this way. No, I eat and I live a certain type of lifestyle. I rest. It's a lot of things I incorporate into my life to, I guess, quote unquote, look a certain way.
Yo, by the way, when this podcast gets edited, guys, make sure to put a picture of this guy on stage when he's like competing, what he looks like. Just show it a guy, what he can do. I never competed. So maybe I should one day to, have a date to get to that, but it's impressive. It's like, okay, how does a person eat like that and still, look like that, right?
Right.
So, and I guess let's start diving a little deep, right? Because, being in the medical field and, having gone to medical school, et cetera, and I own I'm not going to say practice anymore because this thing's online, but like, let's say a biotech company, have about 6 clinicians on staff, and, the adjunctine to help the machine run. There's a lot of that goes into performance and health and true health.
Right.
Health and wellness. Maybe you don't have to go as hardcore as being an IFBB pro, which maybe the word's not hardcore, but as
we can use hardcore. Again, not to kind of interrupt you there, but when you go that route, there is that aggressive side that some athletes take, kind of that.
True.
Yeah. But
True. Yeah, but the whole purpose is like, look, if you're gonna come in here, like we were saying in the beginning, more than likely there is gonna be a day you're lifting, you're gonna go, oh, you're gonna feel something, or something's gonna hurt,
right.
or something, and what is that? That's I'll tell you from a medical standpoint, it's inflammation in the body. It's obviously it could be musculoskeletal issues as well, but whatever, it's wear and tear.
Right.
Let's call it wear and tear, right? And we live in a world, right, where they say bodybuilding, are you natural bodybuilding? I have people that say, oh, I have to, I want to live a natural life, and and they're kind of, on the supplementation, like bioidentical hormones and so forth. They're like, oh, no, that's not natural. I'm like, really? What's not natural? The world you live in.
Right.
That's not natural anymore.
Right.
The foods, the chemicals, etc., in the world that you live in.
Yeah, that meal you just microwaved.
Exactly. You radiate. Don't say microwave anymore. Try this. Say you radiated your food. Hey, go radiate your food. It's like,
sounds terrible.
What do you mean? No. Radiate your. Aren't you going to go microwave, radiate, same thing?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
In the plastic, by the way, with the food that has a bunch of chemicals,
right.
And here's the thing. Also, for our bodybuilding community, I don't know how much people know about this because everybody's counting macros. But how about micros, your vitamins and minerals?
Huge.
What do you get? I mean, you hear, obviously, you're more in tune with the community than I. Do you feel like people are paying more attention to the vitamin D and B complex? And, just starting there, before we get into the hormones, I always like to talk about micros first. Glutathione, NAD, you feel people? No, right?
No, I'll tell you, and I will tell you, like, obviously, I live this,
Right.
I deal with the day-to-day person. I deal with the athlete. And I would say I don't want to say the pro athlete, but the people that take this more serious, they've gone the extent of educating themselves or working with a coach that's educated in micro and macronutrients. But for the most part, no, man. People, I hate to see that. I see these people getting into bodybuilding or into fitness. It's rice, tilapia, which is a shit fish,
yes.
and tilapia and asparagus, to cut down. I'm like, no.
Yeah. So because that's something I feel, I actually wanted to confirm that with you because, with the bodybuilders we do work with, and I mean, anybody usually coming to us is already looking for cutting edge,
Right.
And I don't mean to be arrogant, but we work with some of the best athletes walking this earth right now. So when they come to us, they're already kind of thinking really, really, cutting edge wise or being innovative. But I just feel like for the general community, it's like, man, you don't understand, dude.
Yeah.
You need to run something in your body, an injectable vitamin protocol for a lot of these guys, glutathione, etc. I keep hearing, for example, milk thistle to clean the liver. I'm like,
Live 52. Here, take this.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, there's really good things nowadays. You get, for example, like compounding pharmacies with a physician, etc.,
Right.
to really help, especially injectable stuff. And they're not that expensive. I've done the math multiple times. Like if you do a 90-day protocol, injectable, for example, just micronutrients.
Right.
You know that other stuff like injectable peptides, which we'll talk about that in a second, and that can get expensive. But just the vitamins and minerals versus buying it on like you do a 3-month cart at Whole Foods, for example, or on Amazon.
The shit ain't cheap.
No, and then the quality though, the bang for your buck is way different because we look at blood work every 3 months. Obviously, if you're like super high level athlete, sometimes monthly.
Right.
We're really on top of it. And we look at micronutrients, like what's in the serum, right? What's in the blood,
right,
and what's actually in the cell, because lots of times it's not getting absorbed.
Yeah, and a little bit that I've learned, even with you, a lot that I've learned with you is that the little, like the micros are the ones that make the macros. Like that's essentially your foundation almost. I don't know if that's
Yes, dude. It's the sim. So just think of it as proteins, carbs, and fats. They all go into this one molecule called acetyl coenzyme A. Just like poof. I mean, obviously there's a bajillion processes to that, but they go into this one molecule, and then it breaks into different processes. It goes into your mitochondria, etc. And if you take a biochem book, right? And you'll see, B12's here, B3's here, and then to make the molecule of energy, to make this, to make that, right? And then it starts, it goes from big your macros,
Yeah.
breaks down into micros. It's so crazy, dude. And then you obviously need to supplement that. And then it starts making other things. Makes your proteins, which are your hair, your skin, your nails, makes your energy molecules, your ATP, and so forth. And that's the part that I feel that people don't understand too much, man.
Yeah, if I try to stay in tune, as educated as I can, have a circle like yourself around me where I can keep on learning. But that's because I'm in here. People here have normal 9 to 5. Some of them do. They're not around it. They come to the gym to exercise, but what they do outside of here, they undo everything. So it's like they because they're not educated. And I am totally aware and totally agree that there's some sort of way to educate the masses. Because man, I would say maybe like one other person knows here, if that. And I'm not calling people dumb or no. It's just lack of awareness, lack of education for people. Me, it's because I want to learn. Shit, if I'm going to put something in my body, wait, what is it? Fuck, I got a fucking anabolic encyclopedia.
Right, of course.
It's probably half the shit is wrong in there, but still, I needed to at least get some sort of basics before I do anything moving forward. And anyone that I work with, I want to make sure they know their shit too, But again, bodybuilding, extreme. I will say that. We do take things to an extreme level. It's an extreme sport, I think. And I think that's why people kind of look at bodybuilders at a certain way. But I don't want to say there's a right and a wrong way to do it, but there really is. There's a safer way to do things. But I think with education, whether you're a bodybuilder or you're first-time gym goer, you can not only change your life, but just see results a lot faster.
Right. So, like, moving from that topic on the micronutrients and going into a little bit of diet and nutrition, but now there's the macros again. Actually, that's a good play because we spoke about macros and then the micros that you kind of need to nurture yourself, right? Now, we're constantly getting toxins in our body, and it's really, really bad, bro.
Yeah.
But the world, I believe it's World Health Organization. World Health Organization. Might be World something else, but I'm pretty sure it's World Health Organization. They put out this communication that, if I'm not mistaken, I'm paraphrasing here, I believe, if from at the year 2100, so that's 78 years from now.
Yeah.
Male testosterone will be 0. So, like, what causes that, dude? Like, I had testosterone issues, and and today I supplement. I'm not an IFBB pro, but I definitely wouldn't have a six-pack and so forth if I didn't do. And I take my growth hormone and so forth. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what's causing that is two things: toxins in our environment, like you just said. Tilapia is a crap fish, right?
Correct.
It's crap that we're eating. Soaps that we're putting on our body. Freaking cooking on Teflon. All that Teflon is releasing crap into your system. You should be cooking, for example, only on ceramic, right? Little thing here. Hey, man, take $300, invest in the good pots and pans for you guys. Because I just got this, organic chicken and eggs and so forth. Now I'm going to let some Teflon go into it. And it's like,
let me fuck myself.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Even all the toxins going in, you need the micronutrients to detoxify you.
Right.
In the liver, there's 3 phases of the liver for which it detoxifies you. The first one is super dependent on glutathione, B complex, zinc, copper, all that stuff. So even if it's like, okay, you're kind of closing, making yourself a blind eye to whatever you're eating and radiating, food and whatever. The Teflon, the chicken that you cooked last night on the Teflon that you put in the Tupperware today that you radiated in the microwave.
Fuck.
And you throw some like ketchup on top of it with a bunch of MSG and so forth. Like, think about that for a second.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, you should really avoid that. But also on that topic, what I just said, like, the chemical, like, bro, there's a bunch of excitotoxins in our food. The red 40, blue 7, yellow 6, MSG, monosodium glutamate, which is the stuff that really excites you when you eat it. And the thing is, there's more than 30 names for it. So it's not going to say MSG.
No.
So there's a bunch of names for it. And the other things in our environment that really hurt us, like baked goods, for example, the amount of, if I'm not mistaken, cadmium that you can find in there, like toxic heavy metals, cadmium, lead, aluminum, etc. This is not in the baked goods, but cadmium, if I'm not mistaken, is in baked goods as well. That displaces GABA, for example, in your neurotransmitter, which is the thing that calms you down.
Right.
So what's your thoughts on eating clean, not eating clean macros, eating clean toxins? Like, that's another one that I feel like people are not.
No, and it's funny because hearing you, I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have had that carbonated drink. It's like, but you know what? It's what sucks about all this is that it's become so available to us.
Yes.
It's so easy, and obviously that has to do with the marketing. That has to do where, like, not for nothing, people tell me like, oh look, Angel, what's a good what's a good pre-workout? I'm like, I don't know, pick your poison.
Exactly.
And it's like, at least for me, I wish I could be more disciplined. I will say that more disciplined in the sense that where I can eat clean. Because if you look at me like, oh, Angel eats fucking clean. No, I don't. Like, yes, I eat clean. I to your topic, I have a meal company that preps my meals organic. So they're organic but guess what? It's in a fucking plastic container. I try to microwave it for maybe 45 seconds so it won't get hot. I'll still eat a little cold because in my head I feel a little guilty that the plastic is going to get, hot. That's one part. And then the other part is it's just, if I go out, I try to eat at the best restaurants, but at the end of the day, you don't know what.
No.
And it's like, it's really something that we have to be self-aware and self-disciplined.
Yeah.
Disciplined, because I think that's to be, whether you're a bodybuilder or a successful endeavor in whatever you do, you have to be disciplined. And I think that people take that discipline in other areas of their life, and good for them, but what they need to apply it is in their health.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and I'll, my wife, I get shit from her all day because she goes to
And I
you.
know her very well.
Yeah, she goes to you and she's like, oh my God, my blood work. The first thing she did, I got my blood panel, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do this. I'm like, okay. She goes, when are you going to go get it? I was like, I don't know. I need to go get it. But it's one of those things that I try to do as best as I can, because I'm making an excuse here. I'm busy, I'm this and that, but we have to make time for this.
Yeah,
we
dude.
do.
Yeah. And here's the thing with all the toxins in our environment. And again, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. Like our work. Like we don't only do blood. I mean, we test you for chemical toxicity. We test you for the plastics. We test you for the food additives. Like one thing, dude. I got my parasite testing clean, my chemical testing clean, DNA methylation clean. Like my test, I've been working on this stuff personally, me, for years. I don't drink caffeine anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. In med school, med school is the most upside down health story. It's like, yeah, go hard, don't sleep, eat crap,
Take Adderall. Take
Adderall. It's like, it makes no sense. So I wish I could talk to the old me 10 years ago, but whatever. No caffeine, etc., because I genuinely feel good.
Right.
But some of the stuff that I had to do was, and I know it gets daunting. Like anybody listening to us right now, oh my God, they're talking about these weird names. I don't even know what this is. Here's watch some simple rules. And this one, I don't know what, you just said you eat out a lot. I eat out a lot too. Probably the worst thing, and if you're a bodybuilder out there and you want to avoid inflammation, and and we're going to talk about hormones in a second and so forth, especially because they're going to mess with your insulin levels, etc. But there's one bad guy there that's just going to go like this, push all the bad stuff up, and that's bad oils. So vegetable oils, seed oils, and so. Dude, that is the worst you could put in your body, man.
Yeah.
Even there's a chart of diabetes, sugar, and vegetable oils. And you see the amount of usage of vegetable oils nationwide or worldwide, and just the diabetes going up, etc. And even sugar consumption, if in the last few years, sugar consumption dropped a little bit because people are getting more, there's monk fruit and xylitol and all these, which a lot of those aren't good. I'm not going to get into that. Those are excitotoxins.
What do you recommend, though? Kind of same topic.
Dates and honey, dude.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and raw honey, that says not for humans kind of deal.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, there's a lot of excitotoxin, aspartame, and so forth. Like those, the all of them. We test now. It's been a while. But I think that I've showed you any of the stuff that we do. But now we test specifically for reactivity with that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, excitotoxins. That's a big problem. That's why, especially, I don't know if moms are watching there, but you wonder why your kids jumping off the walls, right? You crazy movies, crazy video games. You give them some excitotoxins. Well, you want them to pay attention. Then you go to the doctor. Oh, he needs Adderall to pay attention.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
all upside down. But the cooking oils, bro. Cooking oils. You do coconut oil. You do ghee or beef tallow. That's it. Even avocado oil, regular oil, they're so contaminated with seed oils. Oh, yeah. And then the amount of linoleic acid that you get in these things, one thing is eating a pure pasture. I'm talking about somebody that raises their chickens, and then you take a regular chicken that you buy at the supermarket. The amount of linoleic acid in that thing is crazy. It's one of the worst meats you can eat, chicken and pork. just because of the fats. The fat, that's what's clogging our arteries, man.
No shit.
It's really bad. So, and that's something that I'd love to like, almost like, hey man, inculcate in the heads of, people, in this environment. Right?
No, as I'm talking, as I'm listening to you, I'm like, fuck, I'm making a run to Whole Foods. Shit.
Yeah, no, but it's just Whole Foods, lots of
Yeah.
we're doing a lot. Most of our food, I was gonna say a lot. Most of our food, especially we just had the baby,
Yeah.
first kid.
Congrats, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going. Trying to figure out where's the button on this thing. Shut off, sleep. But farms, man.
Yeah.
Where like there's a website, for example, to get whole milk, bro. There's no excuse. You go on the website. I forgot what it's called now. We'll try to find it and
Yeah.
put it on the podcast here.
Was it your? I think I just saw one of yours. You were drinking whole milk. Was it?
No.
No, I just saw. I don't know where I saw. They were talking about whole milk. A type of whole milk. You can't just get any whole milk. But
Yeah. It tells you like raw. I'm
Yes.
sorry, I don't mean raw whole. I mean raw
Yeah.
milk, like
Raw milk,
Yeah.
yes.
Because you drink that almond milk and it has
Correct.
carrageenan and gum guar, all these things. But anyways, so that's a little bit. Just I wanted to touch base, with you a little bit on micronutrients,
Yeah.
your vitamins, and don't forget that stuff, especially if you're putting toxin burden in your life, and you are with the foods you're eating.
Yeah.
And then with the foods, maybe consider good oils.
How would you go about as far as like, for example, we have here at this gym, let's just say 2,500 members. How can I communicate? What would you suggest for me to communicate that to them? Like besides
Watch this.
I know it's
You got to do content on that. That's what we were talking about before.
It's just so crazy how easy someone can change their life. You could probably add an additional 1 or 2 years to their life expectancy.
Not probably. Okay, so mainstream medicine, I stand a lot on the side of regenerative medicine, and that's really what we do, and performance medicine, whatever. Call it functional, they're alternative, whatever. But mainstream medicine, it's a well-known fact. Listen to this. If you decrease morbidity by 7 years, so morbidity, hypertension, diabetes, blood, blah, 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 all that stuff, you impact your longevity by 7 years, dude. 7 years, bro.
Jeez.
And then people say, I don't have time. Yeah, you're not going to have time.
Yeah.
You're not going to have time sooner or later.
Fucking crazy.
Now, let's get I'm dying to get into the hormones part. Let's talk about some hormones, bro.
Let's do it.
So I'm just going to
Fucking
take
rip the
curtain off.
Band-Aid.
Yeah, stop. You need to stop. So going back to the person that's going on Instagram and say, I don't know The Rock, for example. I don't know. We don't take care of him. I don't know what he's taking. But point is, what's your thoughts, man, on testosterone, growth hormone, etc.? I take it. I give it to my parents.
Well, I'll give you. I shared. I'll go and I'll share my story. I just shared with you,
Yeah.
prior to this.
Please.
When I was 28, 29 years old, first of all, obviously up until 28, 29, I worked. I busted my ass. I was always tired. Didn't know why. I just worked a lot. Same shit as today. And I decided to go get. I forgot for what reason to get blood work done. I think it had to do for work. I don't really remember. But my test levels came in there. It was 215, 218. My doctor was like, holy shit, how old are you? And I like, have you ever taken anything? What do you do? I'm like, no, it's just, no. Let's retest. So we retested and the levels came back at 220. Same shit. So at that point.
Did he ask you if you banged your head or a car?
He probably did, but I don't remember. And I haven't banged my head, at least that I know of. So I remember during that time, I was also in a transition in my fitness, I don't even call it career or hobby. I'm like, you know what? I've been competing naturally, and I want to compete NPC. And again, you see these competitors, they don't look natural. I have to get on some shit. In my head, I'm thinking, not knowing what some shit is. I was like, what is it? So I was telling you, I downloaded this book called Anabolics, and it broke down all of the, pretty much almost every anabolic on the market, kind of ABCs of steroids. So after reading that, and I dove into YouTube, looked at so many videos on how to inject yourself. I pretty much educated myself on it. I from the black market, I'll tell you, I bought the shit. I just got SIP. I started with SIP. I think it was 200 milligrams every 2 weeks. I started with that. Again, as
That's a good protocol.
No, and mind you, I had friends that were bodybuilder. They were telling me, hey, Angel, take Tren, take this, take that. And I'm like, nah, this doesn't feel right. And after reading that book or part of it at that time, I'm like, no, it gives you kind of stages of where to go. So I'm pussy when it comes to this. It's like, no, I'm going to start here. I'm going to start level 1. So 200 every 2 weeks. So I started, and I remember, I'll fucking say it. I was like 2-3 weeks into it, and I didn't think I felt anything. But I was driving down, I remember it was north, it was 2nd Avenue in the city. I was living at New York at the time. I came out of work, and I see this hot girl. I'm like, oh shit. But I saw her with my eyes, but my body reacted kind of the way my body would react in high school. I was like, what the fuck? This is new. This hasn't happened to me in years. So fast forward, probably after maybe 2 to 4 weeks, almost a month in, bro, just 200. I was feeling like Superman. Like my energy, I just had this. I don't know how to this plethora of everything going through my body. Mind you, it was just tests. I got into competing. I started taking a little more of whatever it was at the time. I don't remember my protocol at the time, but fast forward, this is about maybe 8-9 years ago, and in the past 8-9 years, I've probably competed 8-9 times. So in those 8-9 times, it's call them cycles,
Right.
And those cycles, I've probably taken maybe like 6 to 8 months that I've gone aggressive with it to compete, and then I came off. I have a coach that helps me with the protocol. I get my blood panel. He reads it with me. He's not a doctor, probably not. And I'll tell you, it's not the best.
He knows it pretty well.
Yeah. So it's someone that I also, not that I believe in him, but I see his work and I see how serious he takes it, how he educates himself. The guy doesn't have a degree, but as far as for me, he does it safely. I do see how other coaches do. I do see other athletes' protocols. I'm like, holy fuck, how are you still alive?
Right.
I'll tell you, I'll say it. And like, I'm talking about even GH, like fucking 15 units. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. And I'm like, but I did it up to a certain extent. My last competition was in November. I came off and I've been just streamlining, just kind of TRT, call it,
Right.
And I feel good. Do I want to get back on? Do I miss the Superman feeling when you're on it? 1,000%. But I'm also aware of the health factors behind it. You know, the last blood work I got was in January. Test was like about 520, 530. Everything else seemed pretty much under control.
I never let mine get that low. Actually,
no way.
No, I never let mine get that low, and I'll feel it. I'll shut off.
No shit.
I stay always between 1,000 to like 15, max 1,600.
Get out of here.
Always. And that's why, if I may segue into what you're saying, you mentioned the word cycles, right?
Yeah.
And I get a lot of people that come to us and talk to our docs, whatever, and they're like, oh, am I going to do a cycle? And, I see myself as an educator of this stuff. I'm like, stop with the cycle conversation. And they're like, what do you mean cycle? Yeah, if you're going to do something harder, and we take care of a lot of bodybuilders and et cetera. So there's times, okay, you're going to push your body to a limit, as you would do in different sports.
Right.
So we need to be cautious about that. And that's where we come in and protocol this to reverse that and this to reverse that, et cetera, which consists of what we were talking about in the beginning.
Yeah.
Take out a lot of toxicity, remove all the nurturing, right? Or put in nurturing, right? You nurture your body, you detoxify yourself, right? But as it relates to cycles, for example, for your testosterone, for your growth hormone, listen, there's no such thing. You shouldn't be cycling. If when the person's on, you should be on. Your body doesn't like these ups and downs. Your body likes homeostasis, right? And here's the thing. What I tell people, I want to, me personally, emulate the signal that my body had around when I was 20 years old. That's when, feeling great,
amazing.
Eat what you want, etc. But what were my testosterone levels? Unfortunately, I wasn't into this at the time. I don't know. I remember at 20, the first recollection of any kind of testosterone level that I had, blood panel. I was an undergrad. I was in pre-medicine, and I was probably 24, and I had like 600 something. And I remember life was good. It felt great, etc. But at 30, I collapsed.
Right.
I was a researcher at after med school at Cleveland Clinic. I was super against all this stuff. If you would have spoken to me before, it wouldn't, you would have, oh, it's a different guy, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was for energy drinks. I was for amphetamines if your child can't concentrate. I was for,
take this,
take that, So, which, again, not here to bash any kind of industries or whatever. Ultimately, what we're talking about is biological therapies, not pharmaceutical therapies.
Would you say you're more holistic?
Oh, I'm super holistic. Super holistic. Yeah, everything's connected.
Yeah.
So that's the idea of holistic. But what is a steroid? A steroid is anything that comes from cholesterol. So your body if you put you just put in Google. I mean, if you're just pause this if you're in front of a computer or on your phone, put on Google Images, put cholesterol to testosterone pathway, and you're gonna be like, oh, cholesterol turns into pregnenolone, which turns into progesterone, turns into DHEA, turns into testosterone, turns into aldosterone, which controls your blood pressure. It's like, oh, those are all steroids. So what's the issue? You know, lots of times they say that steroids that are non-bioidentical, not exactly like your body, but, you know, and fine, if you're competing and so forth, and, you know, and a lot of doctors do prescribe oxandrolone and stanozolol, which are the Anavar, Winstrol, DECA, it's in our pharmaceutical list. The docs can prescribe it. But thing is, those are not bioidentical, but nor is your Tylenol, nor is the food you're eating.
Yeah.
So for those of you out there criticizing the bodybuilder, it's like, wait, hold on. How about all the other garbage that your body can attack? Because your body runs on testosterone, right or wrong?
Correct.
You don't age and your hormones decline. Your hormones decline and you age.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
So the whole cycle thing, yeah, you're going to cycle things that are a little harder on the body, but you should be on a constant level of testosterone. If you can do it, you know, there's a lot of guys. I just did a podcast with a guy who was telling me to eat testicles to get my...
Like ox.
Yeah, well, there's that guy. There's one guy on the internet getting really big. What's his name? Liver King.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of this guy?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's not only, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
but you know, the whole point is this Liver King guy eats testicles on Instagram. You know, it's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing it. Not human, cow. Worse, bigger.
Fuck.
But the whole point is, you know, you do need to optimize your testosterone and your growth hormone, and that's the whole feeling that, you know, you're mentioning that you feel great.
Yeah, like you know, someone just asked me, like, are you gonna get back on, do another cycle? It's funny you said that, and I'm like, well, not really a cycle. For me, I don't look at it as a cycle. I think a cycle, call it a cycle, is when I'm going to compete.
Yes,
I'm gonna go on an off season, and then I'm going towards a season. And me personally, I'm not the type of bodybuilder that would, you know, take 3-4 months and just no. I do about a year and some change of training, of eating well, and prep my body to cycle on. So hence the way my body would transform or progress, it's a lot for me. It feels a lot faster. 'Cause a lot of people they drop from 250 pounds to 210 pounds. No, I hover naturally 198, 200 pounds, and I compete at 185.
Right.
You know, it's just that when I do go on an off season, my 200 pounds, I look like I'm 220, 210. You know, it's just lean. So then when I drop down to 185, it's and I'm not even killing myself. I'm doing 30 minutes cardio. I'm still eating carbs. Not deficient on anything. I'm still eating the way that I have to. The protocols, they're they're how he works, and it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know, and I've seen other guys, fuck, man. I'm like, I get scared because it's like, I see the amounts of grams per day, you know, and I'm like, holy fuck.
it's not necessary
Yeah.
when you're doing it right.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not necessary. And here's the thing, you know, like, especially for people out there, like, and I know I have medical community people here, more conservative people, I don't think the right word is conservative, more, let's say, mainstream people, as I was, you know, I'm talking about the two health professionals now. I always say this to health professionals. I never said this to you. Don't dismiss the bodybuilding community, because sometimes, you know, health professionals, oh no, they're crazy. This is the largest research cohort probably in the world that's consistently taking a product, etc.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, how many people in the world are supplementing hormones like on their own? I mean, it's a massive number. I'd love to have a study on everybody. I would love to have a study in the gym.
You would probably have misinformation of all of that. It'll be from A to Z all over the place. But you also have a massive amount of people that they're at least with bodybuilders, that they have gone to the extent to do some sort of research.
Yes.
Something. Even for them to walk into, like, it all begins when you start first working out. Like, it could be, I see this kid, I'm going to go to GNC. They're in their GNC, reading the back of the labels. They don't know what they're reading. They're just looking for creatine. They're looking for BCAAs. But that's how it starts. At least that's how it started with me. And then as I've aged, now I pay a coach, and he tells me what to take, what not to do. You know, or if I'm going to go see you, you tell me, hey, Angel, this no, this good. You know.
Yeah.
But I think that this community is definitely someone that they may not have the correct information, but the intention is there.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and I function to some people, like when I talk to, I function as a health coach to some people. I do have a doctorate in medicine, but I stopped my residency and I went towards alternative medicine. I'm board certified in alternative, so I don't function as a licensed physician, but I function as a health coach to some people and a doctorpreneur, if you will. I own a pretty fast growing company in this space. And we've been tremendously successful in helping people to even avoid aging. And this is where I really want to drop the hammer. So when you come to us now, most of our clients, like 90% of our clients, do an epigenetic test to see how old your DNA really is. This is super cool because, how old are you again?
38.
Yeah. I knew one of us was, I didn't know who, we were super close. I'm 37. So technically you've counted 38 birthdays.
Yeah.
That's probably not your real age. Your real age is going to be more
52.
or less. Hopefully not. Well, actually, this does happen to a lot of athletes and people that have been burning the candle at both ends. Entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
The entrepreneur. We take care of a lot of entrepreneurs, and they're like, "Whoa, why am I 10 years older genetically?" It's like, well, tell me a little bit about your life and how'd you put that money in the bank account? What'd you do for that? And they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's like you have the six pack. You have the family, you have the financial means, you're super successful now, but you kind of killed yourself in the process.
That's right.
But then what do we start doing? And you go to the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. Okay? You go there, and if you're a physician, a lot of the stuff that we're saying here, you could go learn these things, bioidentical hormone optimization, growth hormone, etc. And I actually want to show you guys, and if you can, put this up on somewhere here on the screen. The study I just showed you, there's a study a meta-analysis showing how growth hormone not only does not cause cancer, but prevents cancer on 11,191 participants.
That's insane.
It's a study, right? So, and why? I mean, your growth hormone levels, when you're a kid, right? You have a huge surge of growth hormone. And where's there more cancer? When you don't have growth hormone or when you do? When you don't have. You have two chemical interventions as a human on this planet.
Yeah.
A huge chemical intervention. God upstairs, he just goes, okay, I'm going to change your chemistry. One's called puberty. The other one's called menopause or andropause. Right or wrong?
Right.
And what is that? Solely a crazy hormone surge. One up, the other one down. And where there more disease? Here.
Right.
Here. Where does life suck more? It doesn't have to. If you're watching this, it does not have to. You can take control of this with somebody who knows what they're doing. But your hormone, you need your hormones, you need your optimization, you need your growth hormone, you need your testosterone, right?
Yeah.
And going back to you, Angel, how much do you see people in here, or how often do you see people in here doing like wrong stuff in terms of like not wrong as in
no, and I'll tell you. So I've been in not only this environment, this atmosphere, but I've worked in even high-end, $300 a month corporate gyms in the city, in New York City. I will tell you about. I feel the statistic could be wrong, but 9 out of 10 people, 9 out of 10 guys they're taking something, And I remember not too long, maybe like 2 years ago, I had no filter at the time with this one member. He came in. He was young. He was 22 years old, 22, 21. He's doing something, and he just, he sees me. He's like, "Oh man, Angel, I'll prep you for a competition." He's like, "Angel, man, I'm taking this, I'm taking that," but excited to tell me. And I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" He looked at me like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're killing yourself. Like, I'm prepping. I'm not even on a third of what you're doing to yourself. Like, build the foundation. I know you want to see results. I know you want to, and I think that has to do also with people come into the gym, and they want to see results. They want to see results quick. They want to see something fast. So sometimes I feel like they do the wrong things, and that's where the information part, some sort of way to supply it to them, or have them. I don't know, but yeah. To answer your question, at least for me, 9 out of 10 people, they're doing something, and I would say most of them are not. They're not doing the correct thing unless they're with a doctor.
How about the guys that are scared? Do you see a lot of people like struggling to stay in, or your members that come and then go and they're a little out of shape and they're tired and or maybe not even out of shape, but you see a lot of that?
Oh no, my hairstyle, I put him on the spot. I'm going to tell Brian. I was, he's 44 years old.
Oh yeah, we spoke about it.
This guy was cutting my hair. He said, "Man," and I'm like, "Bro, When is the last time you checked your test levels? Oh, I don't know. I'm like, fucking start with that, bro. Start with that. See what's going on. Because you're feeling tired. You're feeling lethargic. You know, you don't have energy. You're dragging your ass. You're not. I'm not a doctor, but you're 44 years old. You've never had anything. You've never taken anything. You need some sort of supplementation. You know, and I think again, he's Latin, Spanish community, Latin community are not. They're not about the salmon, the eating well. It's just what they cook at home. You know, oh, so good. Yeah. So I think it starts there, man, and I just it's sometimes pretty sad to see the amount of people that don't have the correct information, and especially within these four walls. And I just don't mean this gym, just in general, because there's a big population of people that they're coming in here every single day. They're in here, they're doing that part, but which is the most important part for me, which is what you do outside of here. It's completely fucked up.
So if you could take care of your, like, you said you have 2,500 members here, right?
At this one, 24, 25, yeah.
You could tell all of them, like the base. I mean, obviously you have very advanced people here, but like the basics. Would you tell them to start, like, hey, you know, like if somebody that's learning how to bodybuild or somebody that's wanting just to, you know, live longer,
yeah,
and et cetera, would you tell them to go down? What routes would you tell them to go down? Hormones, all that stuff?
I would, you know, obviously financial means is huge. It's huge. But the first thing is to, and I'm just not saying this because you're here, you know, someone like you, someone that's educated. And even sometimes as far as, for easy as a trainer, start with that. Start with a basic trainer. They may not be the brightest, and I'm not trying to downplay trainer. I'm trying to talk like even a trainer that's just getting his feet wet. They have more than basic information. They have more information than you, you know. And at least if it's a financial reason, you can start with them and then work your way up with a professional, with a much, or maybe that person becomes a even more, I guess, with all the credentials and certified. But I think that their source of information, it's just getting them in front of someone just to have more than just the basics.
Right.
Yeah.
I personally believe once you start optimizing, you mentioned financial, and I grew up dirt poor, like dirt poor.
Word up.
And I once you start looking to it's about mindset.
Yeah.
Once you start looking to optimize, hey, my health, but do it right.
Yeah.
You start getting, you're going to get smarter. You're going to get more curious about things, right? Hey, I'm curious. You'll find yourself all of a sudden, you know, hey, why do my finances look like this? And you start, you know, and I don't want to make this, I don't want to go on a tangent here, but because a lot of people say, I have no money for this. And here's a quick little suggestion I make to people. Look at the toxins first you can get rid of in your life,
right,
both financially and that are hurting you.
Yeah.
Maybe get rid of the gluten, right? In here, I did a post on gluten maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. And I walked in one day kind of still sleepy, whatever. And these girls are like, oh, like 4 or 5 girls. They're like, oh, we stopped the gluten because we heard what you said and so forth. I was so proud of that. No, honestly, I wish, I know who the girls are. And like sometimes I remember that day because I'm like, bro, that worked, you know, just to get off the damn gluten.
Yes.
Because the girl's like, oh, I related the bloating. And then, you know, I eat the gluten Sunday night and then I have a headache on Thursday. That's usually what happens, you know. So get rid of the toxins first. Get rid of the gluten. Consider getting rid of like freaking, you know, a lot of these bad dairy products, processed foods. If you want to be vegan, go be vegan, but eat processed. Don't eat processed. Sorry.
Fuck yourself up now.
No. If you want, you just don't get rid of the processed foods. Watch your oils. You know, just some takeaways. You know, watch your oils. You know, coconut oil, ghee. Beef tallow. The other ones, there are good ones out there like avocado. I know there's avocado oil people that are like, it's great. I know, but it's very contaminated. That's a problem. You know, watch where you're buying your meats, etc. You know, and then consider, you know, looking at your hormone levels. Just and getting a trainer or something like that, or you know, somebody you can piggyback on.
You know, it almost correlates with training. Like maybe I haven't been aggressive with the anabolics. However, my lack of education in training and working out. And mind you, I've been a trainer. I got into training about 10 years ago. But prior to that, even during that, you know, between my ego and lifting, I have fucked myself up, you know, as far as like I've had back problems. I'm sure I have a herniated disc somewhere back there, you know, but I've listened to my body. And now at 38, like I'll tell you, it's not, this is how I train, but I train for aesthetics. Maybe I should be training for endurance, a few other things, but I train safe. And like I kind of said it before, and I hate to use this word as derogatory, but I treat it like a pussy. I do go heavy. However, I do it under a certain format that is comfortable for me. Again, if I had a trainer, like you said, if you were to go back 10 years and tell yourself something, it's get a trainer. Even 15 years ago, instead of me going out to the clubs, going out here, take those funds, take that money, put it into education, put it into someone that's guiding you. I could probably have turned into an IFBB pro, or who knows what I could have been right now. I'm happy how things turned out, but definitely I tell people, if you have the means and just access to this, use it. Like,
Absolutely.
Just do it, because it's going to benefit you not today, not tomorrow, but fucking 10, 15, 20 years from now.
There's another topic I wanted to hit on, but I think we're a little short on time, so we'll leave it maybe for a next part 2. But one thing that I also suggest, especially for those more advanced bodybuilders and so forth that want to keep going hard, it is a little bit expensive and they're a little hard to get. You can get them with prescription and so forth. You can get them online, but not a good idea. Peptides are phenomenal. Things like all the way from IGF and
bro, I don't know much about it, and I'll tell you, I haven't. I think once I've tried it, and I think it was under your guidance, maybe about a year, 2 years ago. But all I hear is fucking amazing things about it,
and they're in your body.
Like members that come here.
They're in your body. They're bioidentical. Remember, like I kind of stand, we do a lot of autoimmune work. We do at the clinic, we do cancer work, etc. And these diseases start because your body doesn't recognize what's, hitting your body, all the way from the Tylenol to the pesticides on your broccoli to the Teflon that's infused in your food. Your body will attack foreign substances. I know there's the traditional guys that'll tell me, oh, immune tolerance. Yeah, immune tolerance, my butt. Yeah. Look at this. 1 out of 10 cancers is genetic.
Yeah.
All else environmentally induced, and 70% of cancers are food induced.
Wow.
70.
Fuck.
Immune tolerance, my butt. Your immune system is not tolerating those toxins, right? So, going back, I definitely think with on the peptide side. It's amazing because it's bioidentical. Your body recognizes what it is versus, for example, a hard substance, a testosterone derivative where your body's not going to recognize. Again, if you're going to compete and so forth, whatever, you have your period, but do it right, man.
Yeah.
Watch your micros, watch the toxins. I always say this to the guys. But for long term, peptides are wonderful, and obviously I use them all.
Bro, I fucking love this. I wish I could. I'm gonna freaking flip the script, start my own podcast, use Roger. I want to ask you questions. Because now I'm sure people want to know as far as like.
I won't even start because it will be here for hours.
Yeah, I know.
There's peptides for this peptide. There's about there's more than 7,000 peptides discovered, dude. They're in you. So and as you're aging, same way testosterone growth hormones going down, so are the levels of GHK copper in your body. Oh, what's that? And so are the levels of the different things that your body needs to function, so they're wonderful.
If there's a bodybuilder or group of, you don't have to be a bodybuilder, someone in this type of fitness industry, what would you, like you asked me, I gave you my opinion. What's your opinion on it? What's in the first step or next step to take?
I have a very strong opinion actually about this for bodybuilders and people that, just want to get bigger, better, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
In this industry, for those of you that are more advanced, we push testosterone so hard and testosterone derivatives, right? And the testosterone, but then okay, now I'm using my 200-300 milligrams of testosterone per week. What's next, right? Or some guys obviously will go into 5-6. You don't need to do that. Really, the dose is your enemy.
Are you sure?
Yeah, dose is your enemy or your friend. Trust me, your biceps not going to go. Your arm's not going to grow an inch with that. But so. And then what's really crazy, actually, was talking about exaggerations when women exaggerate, bro, because there's some irreversible things.
I've seen, fuck, man, I've seen it, plenty of many times.
Women, when they exaggerate, it's like, ooh, you don't want to do that. But so then you go into your testosterone derivatives, right? Your anavars, your trembolones, your primabolones, blah, 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 all that stuff. And I tell all the guys, then you check their IGF-1 levels. And I'm like, you ever heard of IGF-1? Lots of times I'll hear, oh. Sometimes very educated people, yes. But isn't that growth hormone? Yes. Growth hormone, it's pulsatile, so you can't really directly measure it. So you measure it through IGF-1 or IGF-BP3. That's the more advanced way to do it. It's an expensive blood marker. I know for clinics, it costs us around like $25-27 just for us.
Wow.
Versus like a little CBC, it's like probably $1.50, like the full first page, like cost is very cheap, but that it's actually a very expensive. There's some markers that are actually pretty crazy expensive. So, but when you check IGF-1 and IGF-BP3, this is my here, like this is my here. Take this pearl. What is your level? You know, that's your level of what the growth hormone is secreting. But that pathway, you know, like the testosterone pathway that we invest so much in to get those gains that we want. How about the IGF-1 growth hormone pathway? Because here's the thing. You have growth hormone releasing hormone that's coming out of your hypothalamus, right? Think of it a little chain.
Yeah.
Then it goes to your pituitary, releases growth hormone. And then the growth hormone goes to your liver and releases IGF-1. And then IGF-1 goes through the body and doing all the great stuff, right? Muscle, hair, skin, and nails. Which testosterone can be a little rough on the skin, can be rough on hair.
Yeah.
The growth hormone, no, it's very rejuvenating also on the beauty side, right? For both men and women. And very anabolic as well, okay? Helps you to burn fat, all the stuff you already know. But there's other things that you could do your growth hormone, but you could do, for example, your IGF-1 with the growth hormone. You could do a growth hormone secretagogue, right? Obviously, keep an eye on the levels. Yeah, but keep an eye on those levels. You don't want them to go too high. You don't want to provoke acromegaly. What is that? The overgrowth of joints and jawline, and you don't want to start looking. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Toes.
Right? Yeah, toes and I mean, but you can tell all of a sudden you'll start to swell, carpal tunnel, high blood pressure. Don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Again, don't overdo it because you know that's where they say it grows your heart. Yeah, it's going to grow things. I do echoes yearly.
Wow.
I do yearly echoes to watch the size of watch the size of my heart. Like I'm doing this proactive. Like I'm scanning my body and there's a for those of you guys, I have no association with this company. I just like their work. Ezra.com. You pay, it's like $2,000, but they'll scan your body, and I think they're nationwide with an MRI, like looking for boom, 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 boom. If you're a bodybuilder and you're taking, strong, bro, invest those $2,000 every 2 years. Scan your body, look at the difference it's really cool.
No
it's
shit.
really cool. Yeah, they just take an MRI and scan the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I would really invest in the GHRH, GH, IGF-1 pathway. And potentiate that pathway and even play with it a little bit. Okay, let me come off the IGF now, turn on my own growth hormone. Same way, the guys with the HCG and the testosterone and testicle pathway. So hypothalamus, pituitary, testicle, hypothalamus, pituitary, liver. So that's the growth hormone pathway, testosterone pathway.
I know we can go on for hours. I have a question. I know it's kind of when you inject testosterone, when you take testosterone, it's a synthetic, right? And
anything you made in a laboratory synthetic.
Yeah,
people get this wrong all the time.
So exactly. So I would love. So once you take that, does it stop your production of your natural tests?
Of course.
So does it work the same way with GH? How does more?
So with the growth hormone, you're going to have a negative feedback too. So it's called, in medicine, we call it negative feedback. So when your body sees the chemical, it's going to shut it off as well. But it's not as pronounced as it is with the testosterone. And that's what I say with people, to consider the growth hormone secretagogue.
Right.
There's a lot of cool ones like tesamorelin. Tesamorelin is the one that's actually going to cause the highest increase of IGF-1 net. So if you just take tesamorelin, it's going to pump the axis the strongest. Versus like there's the CJC 1295 and ipamorelin. Those are cool too, but tesamorelin, which unfortunately in the U.S., I don't believe physicians can prescribe it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I don't believe. I just came back, a month ago from a peptide conference, and there seems conversations that they can't. It's kind of, this is all in the same space as stem cells. You know how stem cells are a little tricky for, it's in the regen space. So they're disruptive industries, like kind of like the marijuana industry.
Yeah.
Same thing with our industry, the regenerative side.
Yeah, because I don't know too much about it, but I know people that leave the country to get certain
Yes.
procedures. Yeah.
Yeah. If for example, anybody wants to get stem cells with us, we're like, oh, so we send them to our partner of ours, Dr. Jim Papa, which he's his resume. He's the founder of one of the founders of the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, first president, advisor to NASA, and Nobel Prize nominee in 2014.
Okay.
Not too shabby. So we send I went to him last night. I hurt my neck. Something either in between here or jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I went to go do my stem cells with him. But anyways, going back to the peptides. Yeah, so I would consider optimizing that pathway. And then, there is a little bit of negative feedback. Maybe do your secretagogue.
Yeah.
Like, get on a secretagogue, do your IGF, do your growth hormone, and then switch. There's so many of them. Switch then to ibutamorin, for example, MK677, which that one really. But I can't take that one.
Yeah. I'm gonna be watching this podcast and googling like fucking 70% of the time.
No, but there's so much in regards to this, man. You know, so that's a little advice for people out there, and then for girls especially. Because it helps skin, well, girls and guys, helps skin, hair, nails, and girls are straight. You know, when they use the, you know, the whatever, the Anivars or whatever, they're hurting sometimes with the, oh my God, I can't be on this forever. Get on growth hormone.
Yeah.
Till when? Indefinitely.
Yeah.
There's a doctor I consult a lot with doctors out of the U.S. I love German medicine. I love Russian medicine, Brazilian medicine. I mean, South Americans, Colombian, some smart guys down there. And I was actually speaking to the ex-doctor of the Brazilian president, endocrinologist. He's like, I'm on growth hormone lifelong.
I love it.
3 to 4 IUs, the guy,
it.
and he's a cyclist, lean guy.
Yeah.
He's not a bodybuilder, but he's like, guy looks, and he looks super young. He looks crazy young, and he's been doing it for longer than I have. So, invest maybe perhaps, you know what I'm trying to tell people, invest also in that other pathway.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion.
No, I think it's awesome. I've made it a part of my budget, my lifestyle. So it is what it is. You know, I plan on being on TRT, I think, for the rest of my life. You know,
You're not doing growth now?
I am.
Oh,
I am.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I again, very minimal. You know, 2 IUs. I should talk to you. Oh, yeah, but it's I feel like I don't know.
I give my mom 2 IUs.
What's up?
I give my mom 2 IUs.
Should probably bump it up.
I do about 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I feel good. I don't want to know what it is to not be on.
No.
I don't ever want to, you know. So I'm very much like you. We're fucking busy, man. I'm up at 4:35.
We're entrepreneurs, bro.
It's fucking
Hardcore.
crazy. It's nonstop. As I'm speaking with you, my pocket's vibrating, my phone's vibrating, you know. So it's I'm all over the place. And then like today is legs. I got to train legs. I go heavy. So I'm like, my meals, everything has to fucking coincide with my lifestyle. And I definitely, again, budgeted for the GH, budgeted for the lifestyle. I want to say, I'm looking, I'm not just saying again because you're here, but I was talking to Ro about this. Ro is my wife. Because she sees you. She's like, she comes back super excited from her getting her blood panel. I'm going to go get my blood work.
I think she was there yesterday with the doctor.
Yeah. She came back with some information. I already forgot about it. But I'm like, fuck, man, I'm like, I got to see them. Because it's a different type of medicine. I love what you're doing. I fucking dig it. I love it. I push it. So many people I've referred to, whether they've gone to you or not, whether they stayed or not, it's like, you need this shit in your life. Because I can't think of anyone else. I can think of a couple more people that are doing it, but it's not the relationship that I have with them like I have with you.
Right.
You're very transparent. You're fucking straight up. Look, this is how it is. Do this. You know, go fuck yourself. That's how I like to approach almost everything in
we
my
always
life.
Clicked on that, bro.
Absolutely.
Always. You know, and hopefully today we're helping some people to really understand, especially if you're a novice to this, you're a beginner, you know, and, you know, or if you have some reservations to, you know, getting into the hormone side, etc. You know, I'm telling you, as a person with I have an MD behind my name, you know, again, I'm not a licensed medical practitioner, but, you know, I know a thing or two about medicine, you know, and I run, you know, a pretty large practice on this. It's something that I conclude that you need, and, you know, talk to your healthcare provider, or, you know, start reading a little bit about this, talk to people that are educated about this, and, you know, change your biochemistry, change your life. And I'm going to tell you guys, you need to fix your biochemistry to change your physiology and your psychology.
I love it.
Absolutely, bro.
I love it. Yeah.
I appreciate you, bro.
No, thank you for having me.
Ringing, and we're you know, we both got to get back to work, but I appreciate you, man.
I booked you in my calendar. I swear to God, I blocked that out right now. That Andrew, you got a meeting? No. I'm off. Won't be available.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
Appreciate you, dog.
Let's go.